Hey guys, it's Arin Darcan here again, and today I've got a really quick video just to talk to you about a new habit that I formed regarding money management. So I'm going to get straight into it. I'm going to share my screen. Alex Hormozi briefly touched upon this in one of his videos, and I thought it was really cool. So obviously, what ends up happening and what actually happened to me quite a lot is with money management, you'll find that you'll subscribe to things, Netflix, I don't know, certain softwares, gym memberships, whatever else, and you soon start to not realize how much money you're spending on crap you don't even use. So for example, let's say you've got a bucket here and it's we'll just put water in it, but the water is money essentially. What ends up happening is every single expense that you have, that's essentially a hole in this bucket. Whether it's your mortgage, whether it's your rent or your bills or whatever it is, you have these holes coming into your bucket every time you spend any money. Even a night out, even some dinner, are these holes. So all this water's just gushing out of here. And then what happens is, let's say you've got a job, then what happens is this water, obviously, every month or whatever, it slowly starts to just drop down. And most people, unfortunately, it actually goes lower in the bucket because they're in debt, which is really bad. But what we do when you get your pay slip through or when you get paid by your job, it's basically someone pouring loads of water back into your bucket and it fills back up again. And you've got all these holes that keep leaking. So how do you keep track of the holes? Like most people they just spend money and they just go through life just never tracking anything like this. But what actually ends up happening is if you start to track these holes, you start to see the amount of money that you're spending on crap which you don't even need. For example, I was spending, it's only £8 a month, but I was spending £8 a month on a Wix subscription for a website that I tried to build literally 3 years ago, and I'm still getting charged it today. So that's 3 years of £8 a month payments, which is just stupid, just money being thrown away. And it happens a lot more than that as well. It's like a lot of time you'll notice that you're spending money on, even when you go on a night out, you think, oh yeah, I spent £100 when I went out for dinner. When actually, when you look at your bank statement, you probably might have spent 250, 300. It just depends on what you've done. And when you start drinking and things like that, you don't keep track of how much you're spending. So by doing this simple habit, I was really able to close in on my spending and watch where these holes in my bucket were and obviously optimize it. So what's this actual habit? So to fix your bucket and to fix the holes that are in your money bucket, what I started doing is every single morning when I get up and I'm about to start work, before I start work, I've got a spreadsheet. And in the spreadsheet, I'll quickly draw it out because I don't actually want to share with you my personal spreadsheet. It's private. So in the spreadsheet, I've got a couple of tabs at the bottom. I've got a total tab. I've got cash, I've got stocks, and I've got rare metals. This is just me personally. You might have crypto on it if you invest a lot in crypto. Crypto is very speculative and it jumps around so much. So I have got a small amount of crypto, but I don't include it in mine because it jumps up and down too much. You also might want to include any sort of real estate. If you've got real estate, I've got a mortgage on a house. I put a deposit in for the house, but I don't include that towards the spreadsheet that I'm making. And so what this spreadsheet actually shows you is essentially it's your net worth. So it's things like I said, I only track the cash, stocks and rare metals. But if you've got maybe a rare car, maybe you've got some super expensive car that's actually going up in value and it's actually an investment, it's not just like a normal car, then you might want to include that towards your net worth. Everyone's got different definitions of net worth, so it really depends on what you class as your net worth. But this is, for me, my cash, stocks and rare metals, I think that's a good solid base to start with. So what I do in the spreadsheet, is when I'm looking at the cash stuff, what I have is I have my personal, and on my personal I have my current account, and I have credit cards. I don't actually have a personal savings account just because, actually I do, I've got premium bonds, that's technically a lot I have got kind of, but I don't actually have like a separate account, I just keep all my money in my current account or in my business account. But yeah, but I've also got premium bonds, because premium bonds are a very safe way for me to try and earn a bit more money from what I feel. So every day when I wake up and I'm about to start work, I'll open up my banking app and I'll check all of my current accounts, credit cards, things like that. So what I'll do is, and these, by the way, these are pure examples. This isn't the money that I've got in my accounts. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you that. So what I've got, let's say in the current account, I've got £5,000. And then for the credit cards, what I do, because what will happen is if you go out on a weekend or even on like a Monday or Tuesday or whatever, the actual amount that is shown on your credit card isn't the real amount. It takes a few days for the actual statement to update itself. It takes a few days for the money to leave the account. So what I do is my little hack to find out the real time amount is I use the available balance. So let's say I've got, again, hypothetical numbers, not real numbers. Let's say I've got a £10,000 credit card. And when I check the available balance, it tells me that I've got 9,500 in there. Well, then I know that I've spent £500, right? So I'm minus £500 on my credit card. So then what I'll do in the formula, I'll do this number minus this number, right? So it'll be 9,500 minus 10,000 is equal to minus 500. So then I've got £5,000 there, minus 500 there, and I'll do that for all my credit cards. So let's say I've got £5,000 on another credit card, and when I check my available balance, it says that I've got 4,600 left. So then that will be 4,600 minus 5,000, and that will equal minus 400. And then you've got premium bonds, which again, I'll just put an arbitrary amount. Let's just say like £5,000 in there. I then total all of it. On the spreadsheet, I total all of it. And that will then be, so you've got £10,000 in current account and the premium bonds, minus 900, right? So you've got £9,100. And that way then you're like fooling yourself, because you're not spending loads of money on your credit card and thinking that your net worth is still super high, because you're not taking into account the credit cards, right? So that works there. And then you've got stocks. So for stocks, what I do, I haven't got a huge portfolio of stocks. I've only got one index fund that I invest in at the moment. So I invest in index funds. I can do another video about that another time, why that's important, if anyone's interested. There's a really good book called Unshakable by Tony Robbins. He talks about that, about index funds and yeah, the whole financial game essentially. So in this, I simply have the name of the index fund that I invest in. That's literally like one bit. And then I have, so that'd be like, I don't know, ABC index. I then have the amount initially invested, and that might, again, as an example, purely numbers, I'll just say £5,000. And then I'll put in here value now. And in the value now, I'll literally go to my brokerage website and I'll see how much are my stocks worth right now, right? So this might be worth, I don't know, let's say 5,500 now. That's just the date today. I click on it, put 5,500. I've then got something here that says profit, and then I've got another one that's profit percentage. So it's profit percentage. So that'll be, so the profit is £500 and the percentage is plus 10%. And this will obviously, what I'll do now is I'll take that value number and I'll put it into the total of that. So this total here is the total of all the spreadsheets. The same with the cash. With the cash, that total number, that 9,100, again, I put that straight into here. Then I've got rare metals. So rare metals, what I do here is I've got gold and silver. Made a note of is the amount of grams of each that I've got. So this is actually the metal. This is the grams. That might be, I don't know, that might have like, let's say 100 grams. Again, just arbitrary, let's say both 100 grams. Then we'll have the price per gram. And then with the price per gram, then that'll, let's say that's, I don't know, I think today it's like £41.80 or something like that. So let's just say 40 quid. And that's like 55p, if I remember correctly. So it's like 0.5, let's say, right? Cool. That's 100, by the way, not 160. There we go. Cool. So then from there, what we do is we then obviously multiply these together to give us the value now. So that would be, what, 400? And that would be £50. Okay? So then from there, I put them all next to each other here, but I'm just going to write down here because I've got the space. So from here, we've got initially invested. Then I have my profit, and then I have my, or profit loss, depends on the situation. Then I have profit loss percent, and that will be, let's say, I don't know, whatever it is. Let's say you put in, maybe you bought it for £30, so your initial investment was £300 plus the silver, maybe let's say 350. Then now you've got 450, so your profit is £100, and I won't work out the percentage because I can't bother. And that's my rare metals, right? So then again, like I said, if you've got crypto, maybe you've got like here, you've got Bitcoin, or you've got Ethereum and you want to update that. Again, for me, that's too volatile. I don't include any crypto I've got because one day you can be a millionaire, the next day you're broke. So I don't like to include that because it's not an accurate representation of like the money that I've actually got. So then, anyway, all of this from all three of these then goes into the total column. And it's easy to do on Google Sheets. You can make them all move together. Then from there, what you have is you have your final total spreadsheet. And on this, I'll have my cash total, my stocks total, and my metals total. And on that, then I'll have the value of each. So I'll have the value of the cash, value of the stock, value of the metals. And then I'll have what percentage does each of them make up. So let's say in total, I've got £100,000 as my net worth. Then and let's say this is 50, this is 50k, that's 30k, and that's 20k. So if that happens, then obviously this will then be 50%, that'll be 30%, and that would be 20%. And that way then I can make sure that I'm allocating my money in the correct ways, because you don't want to have too much risk with rare metal, you don't have too much risk with stocks. You want to make sure that you've got enough cash in the bank to invest in something urgently if you need to, or for an emergency fund or anything like that. So you want to make sure you can track the percentages for each one as well, just to make sure that you are diverse enough and you're not having got too much in one thing. That's pretty much it. That's what I literally do every morning, and I track it, and it works really well. When you've got it set up properly in Google Sheets, literally all you've got to do is update the individual cells. Like, it takes like 30 seconds, and then the whole thing updates once you've got the formulas properly set up. So it's really easy to do. It works really well. And why this is such a good habit is because what you start to see is your total net worth. When you're looking at your bank accounts and you're putting the cash numbers in, you can see, oh shit, I spent £50 on some bullshit gym thing that I haven't even used for the last 5 years. I didn't even realize I was still paying for that. Because you start to look at your bank accounts every single day, and you start to spot all these little holes. Even the business accounts, the amount of subscriptions that my business is subscribed to, and we probably don't use half of them. So to go through them and cut them out and start seeing where the holes in your money bucket is really, really beneficial. So what this starts to do, it starts to make saving fun, starts to make investing fun, because you're starting to look at your net worth and you want to see it increase, obviously, over time. So every month when you see your net worth go up, it's a really fun thing to see. And also what happens is you start to spot all the crap you're spending your money on and all the stuff that you don't really need. You start spotting all the holes in your money bucket, and rather than going out and buying some crap that you don't really need, you start actually wanting to save it and invest it so you can see your money go up every month. So that's essentially the habit that I've been doing. It's been working really well for me. It's been helping me save more. It's been helping me utilize my money more, helping me invest better, and all them sort of things. If you found this video useful, then please like and subscribe. If you've got any questions, feel free to comment below, and I'll be more than happy to help. And yeah, just give it a go. Honestly, this has been really good. It's a bit of a hard habit to get into, but once you do get into it, there's so many benefits that it's just a great thing to do. So I definitely recommend it, and I'll see you on the next video. Cheers.